Today's video is on language. Today's video is on language. What is a language? I mean, how many people think about what is a language? We take it for granted. Everybody speaks some sort of language. But what is a language? There's some philosophers like Naomi Chomsky or I forget his name, Spinger, who actually do think about languages and have written about languages. But what is a language? A variety of languages which we find spoken everywhere in the world. In fact, languages can also divide human beings. Languages can divide countries. Languages can divide human beings from one state to another. Yet there are a wide plethora of languages which human beings speak everywhere in the world. English is the most popular language at the moment. It's very easy to speak and understand. It's got very few alphabets. Sanskrit is a very complicated or a detailed language. It's got a lot more alphabets and letters. Why is that? In fact, Sanskrit, Greek, and Latin, these three are the oldest languages in the world. And they hardly spoken nowadays because nobody understands them. The beauty about English is simplicity. It's a very simple language. And myself, I understand simple things well. Complicated things go from one ear and out to the other. French is a much more romantic language. Much more romantic language, I think. I still speak a little bit of French, but lost touch. It's got rusty. Languages are practical. They're practical means of communication. If you don't speak the language, it's very easy to forget that. When I was going to Paris or in France from London, I could understand, basically communicate, but I've lost that touch. So I hardly speak French, so you forget. What you don't need, don't use, gets very easily rusty or out of your memory. Languages are practical modes of communicating. The question arises, why are there so many different languages in the world? People speak so many different languages. Wouldn't it be nice if there's just one or two languages in the world? So you could go anywhere, you don't need to worry about it, everybody understand it. The beauty about language is that it expresses Creator's central theme of making human beings, which is quantum free will. Creator has made human beings with quantum free will. This free will bestows you freedom to speak the language you want. It gives you a choice. You are not curtailed. The question arises, what is the substratum of a language? What is the substratum of a language? What is the underpinning of a language? What is the intrinsic structure of a language? Well, people will say languages are formed from alphabets. Alphabets form words. Alphabets are the grammar of the language. They form words and words form language. It's a continuous process. So what is the underpinning of alphabets? How are alphabets formed? We need to go deeper into that. And the answer to that lies that alphabets form from thoughts. Alphabets form from thoughts. So the question arises, what is a thought? What is a thought? Where does thought arise from? What does a thought comprise of? How many people think about this? I bet hardly, very few, less than 1%. Thoughts form from human consciousness. Human consciousness is the key to form thoughts. Human consciousness has a beautiful structure of subatomic particles which are present inside every human brain. Anyone who is living has consciousness, is aware, and it's this consciousness which gives them the freedom to think thoughts and form words, or form alphabets which form words. The coarser forms of subatomic particles which are present inside human consciousness form a more physical language which we speak. The finer subatomic particles form the finer, more refined language of quantum words. People don't know this distinction between the two. There is a difference. That's why I say, when you speak, 3 golden rules about language. Speak sweetly, speak softly, and speak less. The less you speak, more effective will be your communication. If you speak too many words, the human consciousness won't take it, won't absorb it in, and if it doesn't, then you won't be able to cognitize the meaning or retain the memory of that. Cognition is another separate topic, which I've also discovered with my discovery of MC factor, which is another Nobel Prize winning discovery. But that's a separate topic altogether. Maybe one day I'll do a short video on that. I've written about that in my book, Mystery of Origin of Lie. What is cognition? The distinction between consciousness and cognition. The boundary between the two. The world doesn't know that. I've explained what this boundary is with my discovery. What about love? What is the language of love? What is the language of love? Does love have a language? Does love have a language? Well, it is my scientific discovery that love has 7 layers to it. The language of love is in 7 layers. The question which I pose you, the human being who is watching this video, is at what level is your language of love vibrating at? What are you vibrating at your language of love? Anything at all? Or there's no love? It has disappeared. Are you vibrating at any vibrations of love at all? 7 layers I've discovered, and you don't know about any of these different layers. Love seems to have taken a backseat. Many people are searching for it. What is the language of Creator? What is the language of Creator? Every language which we speak is Creator's language. Every language, human beings, animals, and plants, is Creator's language. Creator understands every language, from subquantum particles. Creator's language is quantum language. This is the finest language of Creator, which underpins every language in the world. From that underpinning, we all diversify. We all branch out with the different languages which we speak. I have seen live how, when human being speaks words, what happens is the coarser atoms from the 3rd generation of subatomic particles in consciousness, they actually form atoms of different words, so different alphabets from different atoms, which combine to form different molecules. And when you speak with somebody, I've seen this live, some subquantum level. Exactly what happens is that our words go out, our atoms and molecules go out, and they interact with the opponent, whoever is speaking with us, and they connect up to form new words. So you may have type 1 atoms and molecules of what I'm saying, which then interact with type 2 atoms, which is somebody speaking with me. And then they form 1 and 2 equals 3. The 3rd type of atoms, which combine and recombine. It's a dynamic exchange taking place at the subcontinent level. This I've seen live. Grace of Creator of our universe, infinity, or original God, whom I had searched for and found after 14 years. And to read more about my discoveries, kindly read my book, Mystery of Origin of Life, MC Theory. I've solved the entire mystery of origin of human beings and everything else before the inception of the universe. The difficult part was finding that creator. Is that creator? That was the difficult part. That took me 14 years of hell, monumental difficulties. But I never looked back. There's a lot more to it with my detailed story, which I'll reveal as we go along. Now, in almost my 30 years of work and research, Creator has shown me and shared some of the most beautiful divine mysteries which the world of science is still searching for. I consider myself so lucky and so blessed. Grace of Creator. One very important point which I want to stress to anybody who's watching this video is Creator's language of silence. If you want to discover Creator's language, the language in which Creator can speak with you, and silence is that language. It's that beautiful language from which you will understand everything. The trick is to connect intentionally with the Creator so that you get your vibrations which become aligned from your consciousness. And herein lies the difficulty, is the consciousness is the key. It's the consciousness which is the epicenter of you, the human being. Creator has made this beautiful universe with consciousness as the epicenter of life. We are the epicenter, human beings, with the consciousness. So if you want to speak with Creator, get into the epicenter of you, the human being. And the epicenter of human being is your consciousness. And if you get into this consciousness, then you are on the right track. From there, you can do more. It takes time, but it's well worth the effort. Enjoy my video. If you have any comments, write back to me. Leave your comments. I'll revert back to you. Or on my website, originalgodconsciousness.com, or email me at oneoriginalgod@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening. Wish you well. God bless.